Today I'm going to show you how to make cost curves with Microsoft Word Insert tool. Learning how to make your graphs in Word will really help you to understand the concept and also to have it be a neat appearance. So let me share my screen with you and show you how to do it. So here's a Microsoft Word document. I'm going to go over here to Insert, and I'm going to go to Shapes, and I'm going to pick up a line. I'm going to draw a line straight down. I'm going to make that line nice and thick and dark. I'm going to draw another one. Like I said, oops. Once you do it, it gets easier. First couple times, it seems like a lot of work. Is that even? There's my L. Gonna make that one a little thicker. Okay, so you always start everything off with an L. I'm going to use word art. I find it easier than text box. You click word art. I click on the first one, and I'm going to say costs, and then highlight it. And I'm going to make it smaller, about 14 maybe. I'm going to take that same box and I'm going to copy it. I'm going to copy it. Then I'm going to paste it. I'm going to take the other box. Just because I've made the box, it's easier to use the same box. And then down here, I'm going to delete costs and put in quantity. All right. That's the way almost every graph starts in this section. There are 4 graphs to draw in perfect competition, 4 of them. The best place to start is usually average total cost. Now, I'm going to go to Insert. I'm going to pick up a shape. And I'm going to go to this shape here that looks kind of like a little hook, maybe. I'm going to click on that. Hold on, I want to make sure I picked it up. Shape. I'm going to pick up this shape right here. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to, I don't know why this is not working. Okay, once you get that little plus sign, you know you're working. This shape goes down steeply. With this tool, once you get down here, if you let go and then click again, you can make a curve. It's about the shape of the average total cost curve. Got double click to end it. That's the average total cost curve. I'll label them in a minute. The next one, this one, I'll label it right now. I'm going to copy this box. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to paste it. I'm going to do it 3 times because I'm going to make 3 curves. 1, 2. I hope you see what I'm doing. I'm just using these boxes that I already made. One of them is going to say average total cost. Oopsie. I'll highlight that. and make it smaller. I'm going to pick this up. I'm going to, whoopsie. I'm going to pick this box up. I'm going to drag it right there. Average total cost. All right, going to make my next curve. It's going to be my average marginal cost, average variable cost. You drink of water. Insert. You always insert shapes. This curly Q line. The average variable cost curve. I don't know what. I'm going to try to get insert shapes. Pick that up. Okay. The average variable cost curve starts kind of far away from the average total cost. You're going to go down. I'm going to lift up the mouse and then have it go again. And it's going to get closer to it. Oopsie. You always want to make sure that the bottom of the minimum point, like where you would put a marble, where it would roll, you always want to do it so that your marble, so to speak, the minimum of your average variable cost and the minimum of your average total cost, you will always want to identify where they are. And you can see that the average variable cost, the minimum comes before the minimum on the average total cost. Okay, I'm gonna move that just the tiniest bit, oopsie, up tiniest bit this way. I'm gonna take that box and move it over here so it's clearly with that. You take another box, delete those letters. I'm going to call it the average variable cost. I'm going to take my average variable cost and put it right next to this one. Okay, so I know it's arduous, but you just got to do it. And once you do it a little bit, it really does get easier. Your average total cost down and up, your average variable cost, same basic shape. You start far away at the beginning, you're close at the end, and you identify where the minimums are. The reason you identify where the minimums are is the next curve is the marginal cost curve. And the marginal cost curve looks kind of like a Nike swoosh, and it always goes through the minimum point of those other two curves. Insert, and we insert a shape again. I'm going to pick up that curly Q line. My computer is giving me a little bit of a hard time. There you go. I'm going to do the Nike swoosh. I'm going to come down. I'm going to pick up my index finger off my mouse and then put it right back down. That makes the, and this is going to be my marginal cost curve. But I have to draw it away so that it goes right through the minimum of those two curves. Your marginal cost curve has to go through the minimum of your average variable and your average total costs. Now this is your marginal cost curve. I'm going to put this right up there. Okay, now I'm going to pick drawing a margin, a perfect competition where they're making a profit. But this is where you start. So for all of your graphs on earning a profit, breaking even, staying in business while earning a loss, and shut down, the way you differentiate those four graphs is where you put your marginal revenue curve. So this particular example I'm going to show you right now is going to be earning a profit, but you would just put your marginal revenue curve in different places for each one. So here I have, it's a little easier this time. I'm just going to pick a straight line. It's going to be my marginal revenue curve. And I am going to draw it shape, straight line. I'm going to draw it straight across here. You always have to draw it all the way across. I'm going to make this one a dark orange so you can tell the difference. I'm going to make it a little thicker so it's clear what I'm drawing here. Okay, that is your marginal revenue curve. You want to put that, you want to put the marginal revenue, insert. I know it's a lot, kind of slow. Like I said, once you do it a few times, it gets so much easier. So this is marginal revenue. It's also the price. It's also the demand. It's also the average revenue. It's a lot of things, and you got to put all those things down. Now that I have all my cost curves made, I should probably spell this Mr. Darp. That's the easiest way to remember it, Mr. Darp, and then you can Mr. DARP, which is the marginal revenue, the demand, the average revenue, and the price. Okay. Now that I have all my curves, now that I have all my curves labeled, I can now identify the amount of Q that I'm going to produce. So you draw your 3 curves, then you pick which thing you're trying to illustrate, and that will determine where you draw your marginal revenue curve, your demand curve, your price curve. Everybody in this first couple of chapters with perfect competition, you're always going to produce where marginal revenue equals marginal cost. So I'm going to pick myself up another line, and I'm going to say, this is marginal revenue, this is marginal cost. So marginal revenue equals marginal cost at this spot right here, the intersection of marginal revenue and marginal cost. That is going to be my Q. Getting tired of inserting all these boxes, so I'm just going to take the easy way out with this one. This is going to be my Q. That's always the first thing you have to do. You have to identify your Q. Now, from this quantity, I am going to move up along this curve to see where I'm going. Move up this curve until I get to my average total cost curve, which is right here. So I'm going to draw another line. I draw another line. So I go up here, I see my average total cost, and then I'm going to draw a line. Draw lines basically from here to there. I'm going to extend it. No, I won't extend it. Do you see how that's right where Q and average total cost meet? This is your price. This right here is your average total cost. This is worth making another box for. Copy and paste. This right here is your average total cost. So the way you want to, I keep doing it, the way you want to say this is, that's a little crooked. Oopsie, a little crooked. Okay, so this is the price. Let's say that number right there by that orange line, your marginal revenue line, is $9. I get $9 when I sell it, and it costs me $8 to make it. So the difference between the price and the average total cost is going to be your profit or your loss. In this situation, the price is above the average total cost, so you're clearly going to make money. So I'm going to go up here. I'm just going to draw something. I'm going to take the highlighter. Just going to highlight this area here. All right. So the steps that I took to draw this is I made my big L. From my big L, I started off using that word art to do the axis. Then I drew my curves with the shape curve button, and I did average total cost first. Underneath that is average variable cost. I find the minimum of those, and I draw the marginal cost curve through them. Then I draw my marginal revenue curve, depending on what situation I want to illustrate. I find where marginal revenue equals marginal cost. That's going to determine my quantity. From that quantity, I find my average total cost. The difference between those is my profit. It takes a little practice, but it's really, you'll be glad when you figure out how to do it. So this is how you draw. This is how you draw your cost curves in microeconomics for perfect competition. The word makes it look really nice. Good luck.